I have never been so disappointed in my entire life, Samantha. You call yourself a mother.
Nancy, what's going on? It's not like you to get so angry at me. Could you please calm down and tell me what I did to upset you?
You know exactly what you did. I didn't think I'd have to explain this to you, but once a child is born, you are no longer living for yourself. You are living as a mother. From that point on, every single moment of your life is and must be centered around caring for your child. That's what mothers do.
I understand all of that, Nancy, and I agree entirely. So I'm really not sure what your issue with me is.
Don't lie to me. You have made it crystal clear with your behavior that you don't care in the slightest about becoming a proper mother.
Nancy, would you please stop berating me for long enough to tell me what I did? You're clearly very angry at me for something, but I have no idea what that something is. I know I'm not perfect, but I feel as though I've been a perfectly decent mother so far.
Decent? If this is your idea of decent, I'd be terrified to find out what qualifies as indecent in your eyes. You have no right to call yourself a mother. My son marrying an awful, neglectful, uncaring harlot like yourself was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Did you just call me a harlot? This has gone on for far too long, Nancy. You need to explain what this is all about right now. What on earth is your problem?
Oh, you think I've given you enough of a tongue lashing, do you? I haven't even begun to tell you everything you ought to be told. You make me sick to my stomach.
Okay, Martin, duty calls. You need to do something about your mother. She has gone absolutely insane. She just texted me out of the blue right now and has been saying some terrible things to me. She's telling me I'm an awful mother and that she regrets you marrying me. She even called me a harlot.
What? She did? I don't understand. She's never spoken like that to you before.
Yeah, I'm almost too shocked and confused to even be angry at her right now. What's her problem? Seriously, I have no idea why she would start laying into me like that, and she refuses to explain herself. She's still lighting up my phone with notifications as we speak.
All right, let's calm down for a minute and take stock of things. Maybe this has something to do with her wanting to meet the baby? I know she's been asking me basically every day when we're going to come over and visit her. It might just be the stress and anxiousness of wanting to hold her own grandchild. You know how excited she's been about our baby. So I don't know, maybe your frustration reached a boiling point and she's venting at you?
Are you kidding me? What are you saying, that it's my fault she's insulting me for staying with my parents to recover from the birth? She knew this was my plan from the very beginning. It's not like we haven't told her about it. And didn't she do the same thing when she gave birth to her kids? What gives her the right to criticize me like this?
Please, Samantha, I know you're upset, but let's just calm down and think about what the best way to handle this situation is.
I mean, seriously? She's so excited to meet her grandchild that she calls me a harlot and says she wishes I wasn't her daughter-in-law? I might be a little more accepting of her frustrations if she had even sent me a text to congratulate me on the birth or ask me how I'm doing, but nope, she hasn't even spoken to me since the birth.
I'll bet she was just trying to give you your space, you know? She doesn't want you to see her as an overbearing mother-in-law. Not to mention, Mom was never one to do much texting anyway. I bet she really wants to wait until she comes and sees you in person to talk to you about the birth.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's a great explanation. You nailed it, Martin. The reason she's calling me a harlot and a terrible mother is because she's concerned for my well-being.
Come on, give me a break, Samantha. I don't have any idea what's going on either. Look, I'll go and talk to my mom to see what's up, okay? You just relax and leave everything to me. I know you're still exhausted from the birth, so try not to think about my mom too much. It'll only cause you more stress. I gotta get back to work now. I'll talk to you later.
Samantha, when I texted you last week, I thought I couldn't possibly be any more disappointed in you than I was. But congratulations, dear, you've proven me wrong. Perhaps I didn't make my point clear enough. Should I use even stronger language than before until you get the point?
This is not what I needed today.
I'm a mother myself, Samantha, so believe me when I say that I know exactly how difficult pregnancy and labor can be on a woman. I know you'd like to take as much time as you can to relax and recover. When my youngest was born, I left my older children in my husband's care. That's totally normal. It's best for a mother to have as much time as possible to lie down, rest, and bond with her newborn baby. And I have been more than willing to help you out whenever I can. This is my grandchild we're talking about, after all. When I spoke to you last week, I was furious. Now, I can't even bring myself to get angry. I'm simply disappointed, devastated. You have abused our kindness for far too long, Samantha, both mine and my son's.
In what way have I abused your kindness? I haven't asked you to do one single thing for us since the birth, so I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
You know what? I've changed my mind. I am furious with you. You insensitive, selfish, mooching little parasite. How dare you say such an idiotic thing to me after leaving your newborn infant in my care every single day? What? Also, you can go out and spend time with your friends? Oh, it's positively scandalous. I should contact the authorities and have you investigated for neglect. If you've got enough energy to go off gallivanting with your friends, then you have enough energy to care for your own child. I have never in my entire life met a mother so lowly, so vile, so cruel as you, Samantha.
Back up, Nancy. I've been leaving my baby with you every day. What are you talking about? I haven't even done that once.
Are you actually going to try and play dumb with me? I won't let you get away with that little charade. I'm the one who's been taking care of your baby all day, not you.
But that doesn't make any sense. I've never taken my baby to your house.
I was trying to be a good mother to my son and a good grandmother to that baby. I was trying to be generous to you, Samantha. But if you're going to use me as a babysitting service for you to go out on the town, then I'm not going to help you anymore. And now you have the gall to pretend like none of that ever happened. Do you take me for some kind of imbecile? Honestly, what was Martin thinking, marrying a low-class woman like yourself? I didn't raise him to be so easily fooled by a lying, lazy woman.
Nancy, stop this barrage of texts for one moment and listen to me. Okay? Okay. I am currently at my parents' house, not out on the town with my friends, and my baby is with me.
What?
I've never taken my baby to meet you, Nancy. I was so thrown off guard by your rant last week, I never really had the chance to say my piece, so let me be very clear. I have absolutely no idea what you are getting so angry at me about.
Wait, you're at your parents' house? And you say your baby is there with you? That's impossible. Your baby is here with me.
No, Nancy, I can assure you my baby is currently sleeping on the couch right next to where I'm sitting. I can take a picture and send it to you if you'd like. I'll even put today's newspaper in the picture. Would that be enough to prove to you that I'm telling the truth?
I don't understand.
My daughter was born 2 weeks ago today. Martin is very busy at work and will be for the foreseeable future, so I'm staying at my parents' house because it's closer to us. I've been wanting to drop by your house to let you meet the baby, but I'm still not fully recovered from labor, so I wanted to rest at home for a while longer.
I'm confused. Martin's been coming by the house every day to drop off your baby with me. And wait, did you say that she was born 2 weeks ago? Wasn't your baby born last month?
Last month? No, she was born exactly 2 weeks ago. Why would you think she was born last month? Martin told me he was going to give you a call himself to tell you the baby was born. Did you maybe misunderstand him, or perhaps he misspoke?
He never gave us a call at all. He simply brought the baby over to the house one morning. He said it was an emergency and he needed me to look after the baby for a while.
Go on.
According to Martin, your labor was much harder than expected, and the doctors told you that you would need to remain on bed rest for as long as possible to recover. Martin's company wouldn't approve his request for maternity leave, though, so he wouldn't be able to stay at home with you. And so, like I said, I've been looking after your baby for most of the last entire month.
I see. Keep going.
I got suspicious, though, because it seemed like your recovery was dragging on for far too long. A few days to a week I could understand, but an entire month? Oh, that's just unheard of. So I confronted Martin to ask him what was really going on. And that's when he told me that you had lied about needing me to recover and were simply spending time with your friends. He said you were fed up with holding back from doing all the things you wanted to do but couldn't while you were pregnant and wanted some time for yourself. So you were making Martin do all the work caring for your baby by himself. Are you saying that isn't true?
Give me just a moment, Nancy. I need to go and have a conversation with my husband. I want to hear what he has to say for himself. Martin? Answer your phone, Martin. Either that or send me a text message, your choice. You are not so busy at work that you can't take 30 seconds to send a text message to me saying when you can talk.
Oh, hey there, Samantha. Sorry I took so long to get back to you. I've been absolutely swamped here at work. Man, am I exhausted from all the work I've been doing.
You can drop the act, Martin. I know you've just been avoiding having to face me. I heard a rather interesting story from your mother yesterday. Apparently, you've been bringing a baby to her house every day and making her take care of it. You told her it was our baby, but you and I both know it isn't. So, tell me, Martin, whose baby is it?
Okay, I know it looks bad, but please, if you'll give me just a second to explain.
I don't want to hear an explanation, Martin. I want the truth. You're going to tell me what the hell is going on right here, right now. Who is the baby you've been leaving with your mother? And why did you tell your mother that I was shoving off our baby onto you, then going out with my friends every day?
Calm down, Samantha, okay? How do you expect me to give you an answer when you keep pushing me like that?
Calm down? Calm down? How do you expect me to calm down now that I know what you've been doing? You've been leaving someone else's child with your mother and telling her it was her grandchild.
Okay, first of all, it is her grandchild. The baby that I've been leaving with her is mine. So I may have maybe bent the truth a little bit on some other stuff, but that much was true.
It's yours? The baby is yours?
Yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about it for a while, but I was afraid of how you'd react. The thing is, I found out that my girlfriend got pregnant and had the baby without telling me. Then come last month, all of a sudden she came over and dumped the baby on my doorstep. She was like, I gave birth to it so you could take care of the rest.
So, let me get this straight. You've been cheating on me, and your mistress got pregnant. Martin? You cheating bastard! How long has this been going on?
Hey, come on, don't get so mad at me. It's not like I was ever serious about her. It was all just for fun. You're still my number one girl, and you always will be.
If I were really your number one, then you wouldn't have gone out of your way to find yourself a number two.
I'm sorry, okay?
And the baby was born almost the same time as ours? I can't believe you passed that kid off as ours, Martin.
I had no choice. My mom was the only person who I could get to look after it. I keep trying to get a hold of my girlfriend, but she never answers my calls or texts. And it's not like I could tell my mom the truth, could I? She'd be furious with me.
And so instead you decided to lie to her and make her think I was the irresponsible one? I am so mad at you right now, I think I'm gonna puke. You are not just comically evil, you are also freakishly stupid. Did you think you would get away with this? I was going to come back home eventually, Martin, and once I did, I would have found out about that baby.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to buy time is all. I thought if I could just delay you finding out, I might be able to come up with a plan, and after a lot of thinking, I finally came up with a great idea. How about we raise both of the babies as our own?
Both?
They were born so close to each other we could tell everyone they're twins and no one would suspect a thing. What are people gonna do, ask for a birth certificate to prove they're twins? No, nobody will ever suspect a thing.
I'm trying to think. Have you ever done or said anything so mind-blowingly stupid as that to me before? I mean, the idea that we should just lie to our friends and both children for their entire lives alone is outrageous enough as it is. But how do you plan on explaining things to my parents? I'm at their house right now. They already know that we only have one baby.
Shoot, that's right. I don't know, maybe we could just ask them to keep their mouths shut about it? Worst case scenario, we can give both sets of parents some money in exchange for their silence if need be. But we can think of a long-term solution for them later. In the meantime, all we need to do is make sure we keep our story straight with everyone else.
I cannot believe what I am seeing. You want me to raise your love child? And on top of that, you want me to lie to my friends? And you're even thinking about paying off my parents to hide your infidelity? I would never agree to do any of that. I'm divorcing you.
Divorce?
You can't seriously be surprised by that. Did you expect me to forgive you and continue our lives as usual after finding out you were cheating on me? And even worse, you had a child with her!
Hey, that's not my fault. It's not like I wanted to have a kid with her. She had the kid all by herself. She never even told me she was pregnant.
You do understand how babies are made, right? A woman can't just make a baby appear out of thin air. You were perfectly aware of how things could turn out when you slept with her. I'm done listening to your pathetic excuses, Martin. We're getting divorced, and that's final.
I can't believe you, Samantha. Like, come on, I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation over here. You're not making any effort at all to try and salvage our relationship. You can't just up and divorce me like that. And I mean, think about it. If you do divorce me, then you're the one who's gonna regret it.
Oh yeah? What makes you say that?
You're just a housewife. You quit your job just a few months into your pregnancy, right? Ugh, you were so whiny back then, always complaining about feeling sick or having a headache. So if you divorce me, you're gonna be single and unemployed with a baby to support all by yourself. You think you can replace me? Go ahead and try.
I can manage just fine without a lying, cheating husband like you.
We'll see about that. You're gonna be living on the streets within a month. Is that really the kind of life you want your baby to have? Living in a cardboard box and foraging through a dumpster for food scraps? I don't get why you won't just raise my kid together with ours. Everything'll work out great. Women love babies, right? You should be thrilled to get to take care of two. So forget all that nonsense about divorcing me, okay? If you don't want to have your daughter grow up in a homeless shelter, that is.
Getting an idiot like you out of her life is the best possible decision Samantha can make for her baby. Now quit blathering on like a moron and give that poor girl a divorce like she wants.
Huh?
Let me tell you something about Samantha. She went through so much pain to carry your baby inside of her for 9 months and finally bring her into the world. And how do you repay her for all of that? By cheating on her and demanding she care for your love child? I didn't raise you to be this much of a nincompoop, Martin. I never want to see your face again.
Hold up, what's going on? This isn't Samantha, is it? Mom, is that you? But that's impossible. This is Samantha's number. Samantha's at her parents' house and she's still recovering from labor, so she couldn't get over to my mom's house by herself.
You know, Martin, there happens to be this wonderful invention called a car. Perhaps you've heard of them. I drove over to Samantha's parents' house, dimwit.
Oh no. Mom, it really is you?
I wanted to see for myself whether Samantha was telling the truth, so I headed out there first thing in the morning. Oh, and don't worry about your other child. She's safe and sound at the hands of my neighbors.
No. This is terrible. Why did you have to go see Samantha?
Why else to see my real grandchild? And am I ever glad I did? She is absolutely adorable.
What's that supposed to mean? Real grandchild? My other kid's your grandchild too, you know. She's my daughter and I'm your son.
Simply carrying your genes means nothing to me. My grandchild is the one who was the product of my son and his wife. I would never accept the child you spawned with some hussy you met in a nightclub as my grandchild.
Mom, how can you say something so cruel?
Oh, you think I'm being cruel, do you? What about what you did to Samantha, Martin? I'd say that's 10 times more cruel than anything I've said or done. How could you sleep with another woman when you have Samantha at home? And how could you lie to your own mother about having a child out of wedlock? And to top it all off, you tried to threaten her into staying with you? Every single aspect of your behavior today has been utterly despicable.
But, Mom,
Where did I go wrong, Martin? How did you become such a vile, lowly man?
Would you stop acting like I'm the only one at fault here? Sure, I cheated. That was wrong. I can admit that. But I didn't think she was gonna get pregnant. She hid that from me, too. I'm the victim here.
The only victim in all of this is Samantha, and you're going to divorce her immediately. You have no right to call yourself either her husband or your daughter's father.
I can't get divorced. I won't get divorced. You can't make me.
Oh, can't I? Well then, I might just have to have you return the money I gave you to celebrate the baby's birth. All $30,000 of it. Give it back immediately.
What?
You told me that you were going to tell Samantha about my gift and tell her I was wishing her a safe and speedy recovery.
But when I asked Samantha about that, she said you never did either of those things. Would you mind explaining to me why that is, Martin?
I guess I forgot to tell her.
My goodness, you have a convenient memory. If that's the case, then my next question is this. What did you do with that money, Martin? I gave you that gift under the false pretense that the child you were bringing to my house was yours and Samantha's. It was also meant to be used on yours and Samantha's child. However, since Samantha had no idea about the money, that tells me you have broken both of my conditions. Since the two of you are going to get divorced now, then I would like you to return that gift to me. Right now.
Okay, well, returning the whole amount right away is gonna be pretty difficult. You see, I kinda spent some of it.
Oh, and how much is some of it?
A lot of it.
A lot of it?
Most of it.
Most of it?
All of it! I'm sorry, I spent it all already. I bought a new phone. I thought since you gave me so much, I'd be okay using a little on myself. But then my girlfriend started threatening me, and so I had to give her all the rest.
What?
That woman is awful. She just drops this kid on my doorstep and tells me to take care of it. And then she demands $20,000 as a push present. She said if I didn't pay, she'd bring the baby to my office and tell all my coworkers about my affair. So I went and got the envelope you gave me and handed it over to her right away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. None of that is any of my problem, though. You're still going to return every last cent to me. If you don't, then I'm disowning you, and you'll never speak to me again.
Mom, no, you can't do that. I'm your only son, Mom. You can't disown me.
I have no interest in leaving any of my estate to a backstabbing man like you. I'll change my will and leave everything to Samantha and her daughter.
Mom, please.
If you would like to avoid that fate, then I suggest you give Samantha a divorce as quickly as possible. Make your choice, Martin. Divorce Samantha, or lose your parents and your money.
I'll call my lawyer to draw up the divorce papers right away, ma'am. I'll have him rush them over as soon as he's done. Hey, Samantha. So I know we're divorced and all now, but is there any chance we can give our marriage another try?
No.
But Samantha, I'm a total wreck without you. All of a sudden, I'm having to balance both my job and taking care of this kid.
I thought your mom was helping you out with the baby. She told me that she felt terrible for the situation the baby was born into and wanted to do what she could to keep her from turning out like you.
Well, yeah, she's helping me out, but she's being super strict with me. I mean, she took my bank card without my permission and withdrew half of my savings account to give to you. She told me I owed it to you to divide up the assets as quick as possible.
Ah, so Nancy was the one who wired me that money. I thought there was no way you'd be willing to do that.
Plus, she makes me pay her to look after the kid.
Wow, really?
Yeah, $20 an hour. Since she's watching the baby for 6 hours, that makes $120 a day. So I have to pay her like $2,000 a month just to go to work. That's more than half of my salary all going to her.
That sounds like a fair rate to me. She's got tons of experience taking care of kids. If you don't like it, you can always put her in daycare.
I don't have time to find a decent daycare to send her to. I asked my mom to look for one, but she said she'd charge me a finder's fee of $10,000.
Considering the amount of income she'd be losing, I'd say that's fair too.
Don't you get it? She's bleeding me dry. That's why I need to marry you again, so you can look after the baby for free. And cook my meals, do my laundry, clean the house, wife stuff.
My goodness, that is a tempting offer. I get to look after your love child and do all your chores? That sounds great!
Right, I knew we'd see eye to eye. I might have been kind of lazy back when we were married, but I promise, this time I'll be a completely different man. You can quit your job search too, that's gotta be a pain and a half. So, what do you say, Samantha?
Upon careful consideration, I'm going to have to decline. I already found a job, so I don't need anything from you. Like I told you, I'll be fine by myself.
What? You already got a job?
With my resume, it was pretty easy, actually. So, goodbye, Martin. Take good care of the baby. She's counting on you.
Martin tried balancing childcare and work for some time after that, but eventually he realized it wasn't going to work out. He sold his house and moved back in with his parents. However, now his mother is charging him rent on top of her babysitting fee. After his alimony payments to me get subtracted from his paycheck, he's only left with about $300 each month to spend for himself. Despite being divorced, Nancy still comes by pretty regularly to see us. In spite of all that happened, my daughter is still her granddaughter. And Nancy is a wonderful, loving grandmother. She's always bringing all sorts of gifts, clothes, baby food, toys, you name it. I told her she didn't need to spend so much money on me, that just her coming by was enough. But she told me that I don't need to worry about the money, since if she started running low on cash, she could always raise her babysitting fee.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hi, Brooke. Thank you for sending me this present for my wedding. But is this... well, is what's inside this box supposed to be for someone else?
Huh? Why would you think it's for someone else besides you? That's the perfume I spent hours searching for that I knew matched your style perfectly. Man, it's so interesting to think that even though my brother won the men's beauty contest in college, he's chosen to get married to someone as ugly as you. I just don't get it. So that's why I went out and got you a perfume that is quite expensive. Because if it isn't for you trying on things like that perfume, you'd be ugly forever.
So you're telling me this is to help me become a better looking and smelling woman? You want me to become a wife more fit for someone like Ben then, right?
That's what I'm getting at. So that's why I'd like you to use that perfume every day, okay? I've made sure to spend days researching that perfume so that you'll be at least a little bit more like my brother.
I'm really happy that you went out and got me something like this, but this kind of perfume is something that, well, I'm not sure how to say it.
Well, with how nasty you look, I had to take desperate measures in order to make you at least decent. And having a perfume like that will at least make you smell better than those that don't look at you directly. And it might help your skin a little, who knows?
Huh?
I'm just saying that drastic measures have to be taken in order to fight your ugly side. That kind of perfume is for people that are just getting into using perfume, so it's meant to smell extra strong in order to hide the underlying appearance.
But this is supposed to be a present to congratulate my marriage, right? I'm not trying to recommend how much someone should spend on a gift for me or anything like that, but you really meant to send me a gift that's just a $1 perfume from a little girl's store?
Huh? What's up with that reaction? Are you trying to say you're not happy with what I got you? Unlike you, I'm a very good-looking woman, and I have to spend a ton on makeup and stuff like that. I'm at the point now where every month I'm spending around a couple grand on beauty products.
You're telling me you use things like this every month?
Well, I'm a good-looking woman, so I have to. When you're as good-looking as I am, you have a standard to uphold, which requires lots and lots of attention. And so, with my experience and all that stuff, I went out of my way to find you something that would really help your appearance. That present cost me $1, so please stop trying to talk to me like I wasted my money on you.
I'm sorry about that, Brooke. I didn't realize that something like this took so much time out of your day and everything.
Well, now that you know, your ugly butt can start spraying that crap on yourself to help you at least smell better. I think something like that really will work wonders on you. I put a lot of thought into that gift, so make sure you use it all up while thinking of me.
Hey, Ben, it turns out that the present your sister sent me in the mail wasn't a mistake after all. She told me that it's meant for me to use from now on as to not cause you any embarrassment. And she kept making it very clear that this $1 perfume is perfect for someone with my looks.
You have to be kidding me. Brooke really said things like that to you about that gift?
Well, now that we know about this, what should we do? Half of $1 is only 50 cents. I know that we should both be giving something to her in return for this, but half $1 isn't much to work with. Maybe a couple pieces of gum or something would be enough?
No. We don't even have to bother giving her anything in return if she's going to be that petty. She doesn't deserve anything in return after that. And I'm sorry that my sister thought that giving you such a rude present was a good idea.
No worries, I'm not upset about it. I know that to her, she sees you as someone she can brag to everyone about and that you're the number one most important person to her. So I think she's just trying to make sure that your wife will be as beautiful as she wants her to be. And compared to a beauty like her, I'm not really anything special to get people talking about.
What are you talking about? You're so beautiful, Sadie. I get that my sister is a bit of a standout when it comes to her beauty, but her personality is a bit trash. And when you add that in, she comes out to be nothing more than an ugly woman herself. I get that her looks score her 100, but when you take into account what she holds inside, that equals it out to around -1.
You're being a bit harsh about her, aren't you? I understand that her personality is a bit much, but she does seem to know a lot about beauty products. She's told me that she's spending a couple grand on things like that every month for herself. That's insane. She's put a whole lot of effort into keeping herself looking top-notch, and so I can see why she's a bit rough to a plain Jane like me.
Huh? What are you talking about, Sadie? There's no way my sister is spending that kind of money on beauty products every month, right? She just happens to look naturally that pretty, and she doesn't even have a job to afford 2 grand's worth of products.
She's not even working right now? Last time I spoke to her in person, she told me she was working for your parents' company, correct?
And right after she said that to you, she was fired from that job. She has a real good complexion, and also my parents thought that they could use her to work for them. But that just doesn't seem to be the case. From what I've been told, all she did at work was go to the women's bathroom and stare in the mirror the whole day. Not only that, but her personality was a huge problem for everyone there. She'd always try to pick fights with other women in the office over their looks, and it led to her being fired in the end.
Really? I never knew that.
I'm sure she's just trying to make herself look good in front of everyone. But she doesn't have any money, Sadie, and that's why she couldn't afford anything more than a cheap bottle perfume for you.
She told me she was spending so much every month just on beauty products, though.
I'm really sorry that my little sister is such a piece of trash. So from now on, if she does anything else that upsets you, let me know, and I'll handle it. I can get her to bow down to me with a snap of my fingers.
Thank you, Ben. Well, for the time being, I'll use this perfume she's given to me as a way of showing her I'm happy to have it. Besides, a lot of people have been saying online that this brand is actually quite good. Hey, Sadie, are you really planning on giving a wedding now? I can't even begin to see someone like you getting into a wedding dress and walking on stage for something like that. Did something strange happen to make you say something like that? I mean, you already knew that I married your brother, so why would it make it wrong for me to have a wedding now for everyone to come see? And true, normally a couple would give a wedding after getting married, but that's not the case when it comes to ugly women like you. That's a huge problem, if anything. Unlike me, who could give a wedding any day of the week, you are so plain and disgusting that there's just no way it'll go over well for you. Huh? You actually think that with a face like that, you can get into a wedding dress and everything will look alright? Dressmakers are only making those dresses for people as beautiful as me to wear. But I've been wanting to have a wedding ever since I was a little girl in elementary school. Really? I plan to go out looking soon for some dresses that will match my looks and then have that dress prepared for my big day. If you have the time to, do you want to come along with me searching for the right dress? I'm sure that with you helping me out, we can find a dress that'll help me look even more attractive. No way in hell. Something like that could never be found by anyone because those kinds of dresses don't exist. So you need to have that wedding canceled. Canceled. Nobody wants to come to a wedding for some ugly chick who can't even look good in her dress, right? If anything, all you're going to do is make some terrible memories for everyone, including yourself. So stop all of this before it gets out of hand. But Ben has already told me that he's looking forward to seeing me in the dress I choose to show him. Jeez, what the hell has gotten into my brother lately that's making him think something as ridiculous as that? All of his past girlfriends were so good looking that they could even compete with me. Yet when he came to our house telling us he was going out with some ugly chick, I freaked out. And now you two are married? And he's even saying he wants to see you in a wedding dress? I bet you've been putting something in his food every day that's making him be this sickeningly in love with you. I'm not doing anything to him. Well, whatever. If you both are so badly blinded by the dream of having that wedding, then I'll have to step in to help you all cancel it. I'm glad I already had that first conversation with the reception hall about your wedding. What do you mean you're going to cancel our wedding? And what did you talk about with the reception hall already? I asked them to have your guys' wedding canceled. And so I'm happy to tell you that your wedding is now canceled. Nobody should have to be forced to come see some ugly loser in a wedding dress like you tried to do to them. What? You're just telling a joke now, right? You surely couldn't have called that place without talking to either me or your brother first and canceled our wedding, right? Oh, I did though. I just got off the phone with them a little bit ago. I told them that you no longer wanted to marry my brother and to have the wedding canceled, please. I made it clear to them that you didn't want to get married because you knew how ugly you'd look in front of everyone, and you didn't want to blind anyone. That's really messed up, Brooke. Why would you do something like that to your own brother and I? I did that because I already said you shouldn't be seen in a wedding dress. It would be totally acceptable had the wedding been for my handsome brother and a beautiful woman, but the fact that you look like the underside of a shoe after stepping in dog poop means that the wedding would be a real letdown for everyone there. And I already made sure to tell everyone you invited to the wedding that it's been canceled. I cannot let you get away with doing something like that. I get that you are a very good-looking young woman and everything, Brooke, and that compared to you, I'm just a plain girl and all. But you have no right using that as your reason to do something behind all our backs that's going to ruin my special day. I can't believe such an ugly loser is getting so upset over this. I'm laughing my butt off right now. If you have the time to sit here getting all upset with me, then go take a really good look at yourself in the mirror, please. You'll get to see just how little a wedding dress would look good on you. And as far as I can tell, all of those guests you invited are thrilled to hear that your wedding is canceled. You are so screwed. Huh? I have been at my limits for a while with you now, but now you've gotten even Ben all up in arms about this. He was looking forward to this wedding a whole lot more than even I was until he found out what you'd done. The fact that you canceled our wedding like that, all because I wouldn't look good in a wedding dress to you? Well, this spells the end for you, Brooke. Right now, your good-looking brother that you brag so much about is fuming at the ears over what he's learned you've done. So my brother is with you right now? Well, we've already gotten married and live together now. You should have already known that we'd start living together after handing in our marriage forms at the courthouse. Well, I'm going to hand the phone over to him now, okay? Huh?
You freaking idiot. You've really gone and done it to yourself now. This time, you've really done it by going out of your way to cancel our wedding. Something that has nothing to do with you. What the hell did you think you were doing when you called the reception hall acting as Sadie and canceled our special day? You ugly witch! How are you going to fix this for us now, huh?
Wait a minute, Ben. Why are you getting so upset with me over this, Ben? I canceled that wedding for you. You really wanted people to see your stupid and ugly wife in a wedding dress? If you allowed her to do that in front of everyone you know, she would have made you look like a fool and had everyone hating you. So that's why I believe you guys are better off not having a wedding instead.
Who the hell said my wife is ugly besides you? And who the hell said they don't want to see her in a wedding dress? I'll have you know that it doesn't matter the kind of woman that wears the wedding dress. The point of the dress is to make them all look beautiful and like a princess. And it's the dream of any man to see the woman they love in a wedding dress. Now my dream has been ruined by my own little piece of trash sister. Do you have any idea how much effort I put into this gosh damn wedding? Well, it's all because of you that the $60,000, all my savings, is now gone, and I'll never be able to get it back.
You spent $60,000 on that whole wedding?
Did you think it cost me less than that? This was my chance to show the woman that I love just how much I love her and want to spend the rest of my life with her. That's what us men do for women that mean that much to us. I want to let everyone see how happy the two of us are to be married to one another. Because of that, I put $60,000 into that wedding for not just the two of us, but for everyone to enjoy.
This is all a dream, right? You actually wanted to hand over $60,000 for a wedding to someone like her?
Yet now, after all you've done, that money has gone down the drain. We had already approved of everything, so canceling means that 100% of the cost is still paid to them. Since this is all your fault, I'm going to make sure you pay me every cent of that $60,000 back.
All of that? Wait. How the hell am I going to be able to pay you that kind of money? Why should I have to do that?
Because you're the one that just wasted all of my money. So not only will you be paying me that $60,000, but you'll also be paying me a settlement. Not only did you cause all my money and time to be lost, but you've also made it so I have to go apologize to everyone I plan to have at the wedding for wasting their time saving the date. And then, after all that's done with, I'm going to have a call back to the reception hall and set up a brand new wedding there, start this all over again. And you'll be paying for all of that too.
That's impossible, though. I don't have that kind of money. Just that wedding alone cost you $60,000, but now you want me to pay you a settlement and for your next wedding? There's no way.
You happen to have a very nice face that lots of men would love to have a moment with, right? You brag about it all the time yourself, so you can go out there and find some men that are willing to pay you a pretty penny for your time. It's all been made so easy for you by having such a beautiful face and body. Now go find yourself a nice dress, get out there, become a whore, or an escort for someone.
What is wrong with you, Ben? Why would my own brother be asking me to go out and become a whore?
Shut the hell up, you waste of freaking beauty. And when I say beauty, I only mean your looks, because your personality is rotten garbage. So the only thing a good-looking pile of trash like you can do now is be everyone's little pleasure toy.
Huh?
You happen to be hired into your own family's business, and even they fired you because of how horrible a person you are. And even after your own parents fired you, you still happen to live in the same house with them and haven't found any other work since. The only thing that's left for you to do now is freshen yourself up a bit, go out with some older man and make his night.
But me being unemployed has nothing to do with this.
Shut up. I bet the real reason you treat my wife like crap all the time is because you being unemployed still. She's almost the same age as you, but she happens to have been working for a very long time already and is set for a promotion to manager this month. You failed so badly at your own life that you've grown jealous of her success. But listen, just because you're a failure doesn't mean you have any right ruining other people's lives. And after what's happened today, I'll never be forgiving you.
What is going on here? Why are you this mad at me? All your cute little sister did was mess around a little with her sister-in-law.
I want you to get out there and start making that money for me any way you know how. Before I cut ties to you, I'll have you pay for every little screw-up you made today.
I can't do this anymore. It's all because of you two that I'm completely embarrassed with myself. Why the hell are you doing this to me?
Why are you so upset about this, Brooke? You should be happy that you were able to cancel our wedding. You were able to get away with faking my voice and having my wedding canceled, wasting all your brother's money.
Huh?
But listen, we talked to the reception hall and they're not going to make us pay for the cancellation. And they even said that they will be willing to put the wedding back on just as we planned, so thank goodness for that, right?
What the hell? That's not good at all. Right now my brother is blowing all of this way out of proportion. I was so afraid of what he'd do to me next that I started to call on my family and friends. I asked them all to help me gather the money I needed to pay him off, but they all told me that I needed to be responsible for that.
Oh, calm down. They only said all of that to scare you. Actually, they are all planning on handing some money to us to pay for your mistakes.
I know that, but now none of them are talking to me anymore, and that's all because of you and Ben.
Really? Everyone? Your parents, your family, your friends? Everyone's cut ties to you?
Yes! I called them all asking for money to help pay back my brother after what happened, and I explained to them all why I did what I did. But when they heard my reason for canceling your guys' wedding, they told me they'd give me some money, but in return for never talking to me again. And they said in the future, if I ever do try looking for them, they'd have the police called on me.
My, well, that must be so soul-crushing for you.
Because of all this stress, I've started to break out in a bad rash all over my face, and it's ruining me. When I woke up this morning, I looked in the mirror and my face was just covered in this rash. What the hell have you both done to my natural beauty? Wait, you're having that bad of an outbreak now? I have been using such good beauty products for so long and I'm still able to break out like this? With this bad of a rash on my face, I can't be seen going anywhere. I'm a good-looking woman, but now I'll have to put on a face mask to hide all of this. It's kind of frightening that you've broken out like that so badly in such a short amount of time. Are you sure all of those things that you've been using on your skin aren't just fakes? Huh? Why the hell would all the brand products that I've bought turn out to be fake? I've been putting thousands of dollars into all this product, so there's no way it could all be fake. I only use the best kinds of beauty products, and they all cost me a lot of money. But it's been an ongoing theme online recently. Lots of brand items looking just like the real thing, but are in fact fake. Lots of online shops selling what seems like high-brand goods, like makeup and whatnot, cheap. And most of that stuff ends up being fake, as well as pretty bad for your body. Huh? And just like your case, there have been tons of people buying really good products like you, thinking they're the real deal, but ending up with terrible breakouts due to it all being fake. It's really something that's had me worried, but you seem to have done all the hard work for me. Because you tested all of that high-end crap you bought online on yourself, you've only given me cheap things like that perfume you got for $1. And I'll continue to use this cheap product on myself since it seems I'm not fit for such high-end product like you are. Wait. This has been all over the news, so I think you're having the same situation happen to you. There have already been people with the same symptoms as you who end up having to go through 2 years of treatments to fix their badly damaged skin. They usually show a before and after picture of the patients, and man, is it amazing what modern healthcare can do to save someone's skin. I can definitely see why you think you'll have to start wearing a mask outside now with a face that badly rashed. You have got to be lying! I can't afford to pay for 2 years' worth of treatments to my skin! For frick's sake! I should have known this fake product would screw me over one day. This is all due to that badly produced product, and now my skin looks sickening. Huh? So you really have been using that fake product after all? But didn't you tell me you were spending thousands of dollars a month on that product? You even bragged to me about how beautiful it made your skin and everything. You were looking so beautiful that even I believed you when you said you only used high-quality goods, but really, you've been using cheap, fake garbage all along. Excuse me? Why are you getting all happy over this? But wait, didn't you tell me earlier that people with my looks should only be using the cheap stuff? Why have you been using the cheap product as well this whole time? Are you telling me that perhaps I'm the same level of beauty as you now by saying you bought only cheap beauty product? Maybe that's why you've been so happy to brag about the product to me. Because you finally found someone just as ugly as you to share that product with. Shut the hell up! I really was buying all of it thinking that it was the real deal. I've been using that website's product for so long now, so why is it only damaging my skin now? This is all just a bad coincidence, right? Before all those products must have been the real deal, right? That must mean that even now the product I used has been real. And that it's just the stress causing this breakout. What? So you've been using this same product for a very long time then, huh? That must mean that low-quality trash is perfect for your skin, and this time you used something that was real and it didn't match your skin. Excuse me? Well, it's fine for you to keep using the trash product. I mean, somebody's got to buy it or else it will all go to waste. You must be so happy to know that the cheap stuff works for you. And I think I'll continue to use this cheap perfume you got me since it hasn't bothered me so far. I actually looked into that perfume you got me and its parent brand is a lot higher end. So that's why it's been made so well and is healthy for me to use. You really did a great job looking for this perfume for me, and I think I'll start buying the parent brand since I know my body won't react to it. Thank you, Brooke. You need to stop it with all of that horn tooting right now. You have no right being this happy over all this. You're the frickin' ugly loser, so you don't get to be happy about something that makes me miserable. I'm not trying to be happy about something that's made you upset. I just wanted to let you know that you can keep saving money with that fake product. And that I will be able to buy some high brand stuff here really soon. Let's both you and I keep doing our best to take care of our beauty, okay? Ah, but before you can join me, make sure to get that rash or whatever treated. You are way too beautiful to keep that rash on your face, so get it treated soon, okay? We wouldn't want you making everyone around you having to look at that disgusting rash on your face. Good luck! After that, both Ben and I were able to give our wedding, and it went over very well. But as for Brooke and her terribly rashed skin, it only continued to get worse and worse. She never did end up coming to the wedding because she kept crying about how everyone would laugh at her because of her skin. But everyone at the wedding had a different excuse for her not showing, and that was that she was too afraid to appear in front of all those that yelled at her, and that's why she ran. She tried to explain later to those that still talked to her that her skin really was having a horrible outbreak, but nobody would believe her. However, when she went to go see how much the treatments would cost her, it was way more money than she expected, and she couldn't even get anyone to support her this time. As of right now, she's working overnight at a factory in town trying to save up money for her treatments, and is doing so while wearing a mask to cover up her ugly mug.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
I thought that Jason only had eyes for me. I never in a million years thought that he would be stolen away from me by someone who I thought was my friend. Portia, what on earth are you talking about right now? Don't you try and play dumb with me. I know it was you, you terrible, awful woman. This is all your fault. You're the one that stole my man away from me, and I hate you for it. Portia, I literally have no idea at all what you're talking about right now. You're just being ridiculous. How can you say that when Jason said that he was going to be marrying you? I thought that him and I were going to end up married. How did this happen? How can he just leave me like this? You know what he did? He showed up at my work all of a sudden and he told me that he found someone else and that he was going to marry this other girl. And I know for a fact that you are that other girl, aren't you, Tammy? Portia, please, you really need to calm down. I'm trying to tell you that I have no idea what you're talking about. But I know for a fact that I certainly didn't steal your fiancé. I mean, you do know that I'm going to be married to my own fiancé, don't you? But you really just mean that you're going to be marrying Jason and not me, right? Do you really think you're going to fool me right now? I know that it was you who Jason left me to be with. I am telling you that I don't know who it is, but it isn't me. Please, can't we just calm down and try to talk about this rationally? I mean, I didn't even know that you were engaged to begin with. This is the first time that I'm hearing about this at all. Well, of course you hadn't heard of this. That's because I was hiding my relationship with him from everyone. I knew that he was too handsome and that if people found out that we were together, that there would be trouble. Wow, is this Jason guy really that good looking? He might as well be a model. Not only that, but he's also really smart. Basically, he's the whole package all in one. So I knew that if I were ever to introduce him to my friends, that they would get jealous and try to steal him from me. That's why I made sure that nobody knew that we were dating at all. So I want to know just how you found out, huh? But I didn't even find out. For the last time, I had no idea that you were even engaged. But I do feel really sorry for you that you were, and for some reason he felt like it was appropriate to leave you like that. But at the end of the day, that is business between you and him, and I really don't think I should be a part of it. And since I don't even know what he looks like, I don't understand how I could have plotted to steal him from you. Do you really expect me to believe that? I'm sure that you were always keeping an eye on me, just waiting to see what kind of man I'd get with so that you could steal him from me. And here I thought that you actually wanted to be my friend, but now you're running around town with my fiancé. Portia, are you even reading any of what I'm trying to tell you right now? I mean, I had no idea that you and my Jason worked at the same place, but now I see that you were just using your job to get close to him. Well, just know that I am never ever going to forgive you for what you've done to me. Hold on a second, you mean Jason from sales is your fiancé? Does that mean that you're telling me you're engaged to Jason Miller? That's right, or I guess I was engaged to him, but now you've gone and stolen him from me. I thought that he and I were going to have a future together. Well, I guess I do see why you would want to hide a guy like Jason from others. He's tall, handsome, funny, and he really is a smart guy too. I think he's a really popular guy just around the office.
You see, I was right. You finally come out and admit it. I know that it was you. You ruined our perfect relationship. You know, he and I never even got in a fight. I guess I was wrong for thinking that I could ever count on you as a friend.
Portia, you are completely taking what I'm saying out of context. I had no idea that I was working at the same place as your fiancé. But I really want you to know that I had no intentions with Jason at all. I mean, I'm literally engaged myself.
You don't know what you're talking about at all. You're not the one who was left by your fiancé for another woman. I just can't believe that it happened so suddenly. I just don't even know what to think. It isn't fair. But the worst part is how you're still lying to me about this when I saw you two having lunch together on a date with my own eyes. You two looked like you were just having so much fun talking with each other, you know that?
Are you sure that we weren't just having lunch together, like two normal people might? I mean, our departments are working on a project together, so we do see each other around the office quite a bit. And I don't really think it's all that weird that we would be eating lunch together.
I can't believe that you're really going to stick with this lie, even though I caught you red-handed. You're really going to just double down and keep trying to trick me? Why even bother trying to trick me when I know the truth? You know that you aren't going to fool me, right? I know that it's you. I never ever should have trusted you. I should have known that you were trouble from the very start.
Please, Portia, why don't you trust what I'm trying to tell you?
Why don't I trust you? How about because I thought that you were my friend and now you've gone and betrayed me? I am never ever going to forget this, or you. Just know that from here on out, you're on my list. And I am not going to let you get away with this plot to marry my fiancé.
Hey, Jason, are you there? I'm really sorry to be bothering you on your day off. And I'm even more sorry, but do you think that I could ask you a kind of private question?
Oh, hey Tommy, how's it going? Yeah, I guess you can ask me about my private life, if that's what you mean.
Great, because the thing is that I heard you were engaged to be married, but I also heard that you've recently changed your fiancé?
Wait, what? Sorry, I'm not following you. What exactly do you mean that I've changed my fiancé?
I just mean that you were engaged to marry one woman, but then you broke up with her and now you're engaged to marry someone else?
Tommy, I'm really sorry, but I've got no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I'm not the kind of guy to be bouncing around from fiancé to fiancé like that. The woman I'm engaged to right now is the same girlfriend that I've had since I was in college.
I see. Well, that's really good to hear. To be honest, I knew there was no way that you would do something like that.
Well, I'm glad you weren't actually accusing me of doing that, but then why did you even ask about it in the first place? Because this is a really weird topic for you to be bringing up to me, if I'm being honest. I thought we had more trust in each other after all the work we've been doing together.
You're right. I'm sorry, Jason. It isn't that I don't trust you or anything like that. The truth is that I actually was getting some strange messages from an old friend who was claiming to be dating you.
You talked to someone who said that we were dating?
Well, she said that you two were going out, but that you dumped her suddenly, and this is after you two were supposed to have gotten engaged. Anyways, this friend was telling me all about it because she was accusing me of stealing you away from her. This friend of mine thinks that you left her for me and that now you and I are going to get married.
Hold on a second, are you serious about that? That's crazy. Who's this friend? How long have you known her?
Well, it's this woman named Portia, and we've actually known each other since we were both in middle school.
Wait a sec, you know Portia? Tommy, I don't know what to tell you, but Portia and I were never together. In fact, she's more like a stalker to me than anything else. She's actually been responsible for so many problems in my life.
Hold on a second, you're telling me that Portia has been stalking you?
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's this cafe that I really like going to, and Portia is actually a barista there. I would always go to this cafe and her and I would exchange a few words now and then, but I guess she was falling in love with me that whole time. And even though I had no idea this was happening, in her head we must have started going out with each other.
Are you serious? That's just crazy.
Well, it happens more often than you think. I mean, I'm not blind. I know that a lot of people around the office think I'm handsome and stuff, and this isn't the first time I've been liked by someone without really liking them back. This is the first time that someone's ever taken it this far with me. And now things have just gotten so bad that I just don't know how to respond.
But then how in the world did Portia manage to think that you and her were dating?
That's what I want to know, because I've only ever tried to be polite to her, but I was never flirting with her. And we certainly never said a word to each other about our love lives or anything like that. But I guess she just had it in her head that we were dating. Even so, I still have no clue about where the talk of marriage is coming from.
Jason, I am so sorry that she's been giving you so much trouble. I really had no idea that any of this was going on.
Well, it has been, and it's honestly been driving me crazy, but the fact of the matter is I'm already engaged. At this point, I don't want anything to do with Portia at all. I've even been avoiding going to that cafe.
I see, but she seems to think that I've stolen you away from her. She told me that you showed up to the cafe one day and told her that you were engaged to marry someone else. And for some reason, she seemed to think it was me.
That's true. I did go in there one day just to try and make things clear with her, but I guess she took it the complete wrong way.
I really am so sorry you've been having to deal with all of this, but Portia's kind of been like this ever since we were both young. She would always fall head over heels for some boy and announce that they were dating when they hadn't hardly even talked.
It sounds to me like that little habit of hers has only gotten worse over the years then. How did those boys you went to school with handle her? Because I guess Portia still seems to think that we're together.
Well, a lot of what they did was just ignore her and try to avoid her. Basically, their plan would be to wait until she found someone new to obsess over.
I see. So basically you think it might be possible to just wait this out and see if she loses interest in me? I guess I can try that. See if it works.
Sure thing, and I guess I can try to talk to her about this again and see if I can't convince her about my intentions. I really can't believe that you're doing this to me, you know that? I can't believe that not only did you steal my fiancé away from me, but that now you two are actually going to be getting married. But just know that I am not going to let you get away with this. I am going to ruin your marriage. And then you both will know the cost of doing what you did to me. Portia, I was wondering when I was going to hear from you again. I tried reaching out to you after you first started messaging me about this, but you never responded to my messages. But what I wanted to tell you was that you and Jason are not and have never been dating. What are you talking about? How dare you say something like that to me? No, it's true. I talked to Jason all about this. He told me that he was nothing but a regular customer at the cafe where you work. I guess he was nice to you in your interactions, and that's why you thought he was flirting with you. But you took things way too far when you thought that it meant the two of you were dating, to say nothing about being engaged. This proves that you have no idea what you're talking about. Of course the two of us are dating. How dare you come to me with this drivel? Did you think this was going to work? Or do you just not care at all about what you say anymore since you two are about to get married today? Get married today? What are you talking about this time, Portia? Oh, please, don't try and fool me. I already told you that I wasn't going to let you get away with getting married. That's why I'm going to show up to your wedding in my own wedding dress and completely steal the show from you. Then I am going to steal back my man in front of your very eyes, and we are going to use what was supposed to be your wedding as our own. And then everyone there is going to know all about how you tried to steal my fiancé away from me. Now, hold on just 1 second. Are you telling me that you're at Jason's wedding right now? Of course I am, although I don't know why you said Jason's when it's both of yours. Portia, I am being really serious right now. You have got to get out of there. Something really bad could happen if you interrupt their wedding dressed like that. You really think that you can scare me off like that? It isn't going to work. I can't believe that you think you can boss me around after what you've done to me. You're a terrible friend, and I have no reason to listen to you. The only reason I'm here today is all just to steal Jason back from you. This is how I get my revenge on a fake friend like you. You are really taking this whole thing way too far, Portia. Sounds to me like you're finally starting to get how serious I am about this. Too bad it's way too late for you now. Well, if you must know, I had my wedding yesterday. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I mean that if you were hoping to ruin my wedding, you're too late. I got married yesterday. What in the world are you talking about? I know for a fact that you're getting married today. I heard all about it. I know that you and Jason are going to be getting married today. I see what's going on here now. Jason is getting married today to his fiancée. I got married to my husband now yesterday. Get it? But Wait, I don't understand. So you're telling me that you and Jason broke up then?
Portia, for the millionth time, Jason and I are not and never were dating each other. I'm just his coworker, and that is it. I talked to Jason about this, and he told me he's with the same girl he's been with since college, and that's the woman that he's marrying today.
But that can't be right. I mean, I saw you two having lunch together and laughing and smiling. How can you try and tell me that you're just coworkers?
Because that's all we are, and we got along well together. Do you really not ever enjoy talking with your coworkers? Besides, I remember the day you must be talking about, and the reason we were so happy is because we were both talking about our wedding plans.
You mean that's what was going on?
That's right. We were laughing because I was going for a really small wedding, and Jason said he was trying to go all out for his.
So then, you're telling me that I've got this whole thing wrong? You two were never dating in the first place?
That is what I've been trying to tell you this whole time, Portia. It was all in your head.
But that's not it. That also meant that Jason and I were never really a thing. I thought that he really loved me.
And just what made you think that in the first place?
Well, he would always come in whenever I was working there, and he would always tell me thanks for the coffee. But why would he be coming to my cafe if he didn't love me?
So you mean that he never even said once that he loved you or anything like that?
I already knew what was going on, just by the energy he was giving out. It was written all over his face.
You really think that?
Of course. And there was this time I gave him a cookie for free. He looked so happy, and then when he got up to leave, he said it was great and thanked me for it. But I was the one that baked those cookies in the morning, so that means he likes my cooking. What do you call that then, huh? That was when I figured we were engaged. It was his way of asking me to cook for him forever.
Wow. I just don't even know what to say about that. The sheer mental gymnastics required to go from a cookie to engagement, it's almost impressive.
But I guess that means that I was wrong about you. Now I realize it was another girl he was with this whole time. Which is why I'm still going to go through with my plan.
You mean that you're really going to try and sabotage Jason's wedding? I really don't think you should do that. You're really going to regret it if you do.
Tammy, what the heck? Did you know that Jason's parents owned their own real estate company? I had no idea that his parents were that rich.
Wait a second, you mean you didn't even know that about your so-called fiancé? And to think you thought you two were engaged.
But you don't understand. When I tried to barge into his wedding, I was basically caught right away by the security there. They took me to a changing room, and then Jason showed up, and he looked really upset. But then even my boss from work showed up.
Wow, you mean that Jason was so upset about how you'd been acting that he even brought your boss in to talk to you?
No, it's not that at all. My boss was actually invited to Jason's wedding. I guess he knows Jason's parents or something through their business. But when they heard about what I tried to do, they said that they couldn't do business with my boss anymore. So then my boss begged them for forgiveness and told them he had no idea one of his employees was doing this. He begged them to let him keep his store. But Jason's parents refused, so now my boss is trying to sue me for damages to his store. You have to help me.
What are you talking about? Of course I'm not going to help you. Especially not after you tried to ruin one of the most important days of Jason's life. You're a horrible, selfish, delusional woman. We tried to warn you over and over again, but you refused to acknowledge the reality around you.
But it isn't fair. I really did think that we were together. It wasn't supposed to go like this.
I hope your boss does sue you, and I hope he takes you for all you've got. Your delusions have cost people enough already. After that, I heard that Portia's old boss was able to sue her for $50,000 for damages to his business and reputation. Portia was left penniless and even had to go into debt to pay it all back. After seeing how truly upset he was by Portia's behavior, Jason's parents realized their mistake and agreed to lease him his cafe space after all. Needless to say, Portia was not welcome back there. With no job and no one in her corner, Portia ran back to live with her parents. But they were both so disappointed in her and told her they were disinheriting her. I heard that she moved back to the city and is working multiple jobs trying to pay down her debt, but as far as I'm concerned, she's no longer my problem, and that's all I really care about.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
What the heck do you think you're doing at my wedding right now, Francine? A lame little shut-in loser like you has got some serious nerve trying to show her face around here on my special day. Excuse me? What in the world are you talking about right now, Emma? I seriously just can't even believe you right now. I mean, you weren't even invited, and yet you decided to just crash my wedding? What made you think doing something like this was okay? Did you hit your head or something like that? Seriously, what is your deal? Wait, no, hold on a second. I really am confused as to what you're talking about. I mean, the only reason I came here was precisely because I was invited. In fact, I had no idea you were going to be the bride at all. Oh, please, do you expect me to believe that? Of course you knew it was my wedding. The real question is how you knew it was happening here when you weren't even invited. But honestly, if you thought that you were going to get out of this with a lie like that, you've got another thing coming. But I'm telling you that I really was invited here. I got my invitation in the mail and everything. It's just that my invitation was sent by the groom of the wedding, who must be Xavier, the man you're going to marry. Wait a second, you're telling me that my fiancé Xavier invited some weird little nobody like you to our wedding? Why in the world would he want some loser like you here with us? I mean, doesn't he realize that we're so far above you? Xavier had great grades in class, makes a ton of money now, and he might as well be a supermodel. Now, you explain to me what he was thinking inviting a nobody like you here. But I don't really know what else to say. I really did get an invitation to be here. You need to stop all this lying at once. You just found out that this was happening and wanted to sneak your way in, didn't you? You must have known that at my wedding it was only going to be beautiful and successful people allowed in. Which means that you must be here just to try and flirt with men. Wait, what? You can't really think that, right? Of course that's not what's going on. You've got this all wrong. I don't care what you have to say, you are still single, aren't you? And to think that you could have found someone if you just listened to me back then. Back then? Emma, what do you mean by that? Oh, come on, have you really forgotten? You know, high school prom? When they announced prom king and queen, you know what they say about that, right? That the winners always end up getting married to each other. I tried to give you a nice spa day so that you might have even had the slightest chance, remember? Oh, I remember what you're talking about now. If I can be honest, that was one of the worst days of all of high school. For you, maybe. But I guess I didn't do a good job because you're still single. I mean, that's the whole reason why I wanted to help you back then in the first place, but no matter how much I tried, nothing could fix how ugly you really were. And I suppose that's why I ended up being voted as prom queen. Meanwhile, everyone in the audience was laughing at you because of how ridiculous you ended up looking. Well, you remember things very differently from me. I remember not even wanting to go, but you practically forced me to sign up. Then, I remember you saying you were going to give me a makeover and you only finished with minutes to go before the winners were announced. By the time I let you have your way with me, I looked like a clown with all the makeup you put on me. And you used that old urban legend about the prom king and queen getting married to convince me to tell that year's prom king that I had a crush on him. It sounds to me like that's all your fault for letting me manipulate you so much. You really need to take more responsibility for your actions. Besides, think of all the funny memories you have to look back on now. Well, I didn't even have to open my mouth to be rejected by him, but he did it in front of the whole auditorium of people. It was one of the most horrible and saddest days of my entire life. Oh, come on. Surely you've had worse days of your life since then, right? I mean, this is a pretty low point for you, sneaking into a wedding you weren't invited to and all. I feel like you'd have to have sunken quite low to sneak into a wedding to look for a man. You must really, really be desperate. Are you kidding me? You really haven't changed at all since high school, have you? Why change something that's already perfect? But the fact of the matter is that you don't belong here. I never asked for any fat little piggies to be at my wedding, so why don't you run along and go back to your sty, I'm afraid we have a strict no fishing policy, so pack up whatever you thought you were going to use to get men and turn around.
You are going to regret this. You can't keep treating people like this and get away with it.
Excuse me? Did you seriously just talk back to me right now? How dare you? Don't you remember what happened in high school?
There you go again, talking as if high school is the be-all end-all of everything. Up until today, I had moved past all the horrible times I had in high school. Here I thought you might have changed too, and we could talk as adults, but I see that you're just as terrible as you've always been. But you're going to learn a harsh lesson about treating people with respect.
How dare some ugly little loser talk to me like this? You think I need to sit here and take this from you? I want you out of here right this instant. If you're not gone in 30 seconds, I am going to call the police and have you dragged out of here.
Miss Bellevue, I heard that you went home early? Did something happen? Is everything okay? Is it trouble at work or something like that?
Hello, Xavier. I thought I told you to call me Francine when we're outside of work. But anyways, I have some things I need to attend to, but thank you very much for inviting me.
I'm sorry. I don't understand. Did something happen? Did I do something wrong?
No, it isn't you at all. Anyways, I really should be leaving now, but please stop by my office and show me pictures of the rest of the wedding later.
I'm still really confused, but if it's a personal matter that you don't want to talk about, I respect that.
I really don't know where this company would be if it didn't have a VP like you looking over it. You always know just what to say, you know that?
I appreciate it, boss, but you're the one who's really at the wheel. And I guess I'm just a bit down because I wanted to introduce you to my fiancé. Do you think you could stay for a little bit while longer, please? At the very least, you have to take a bag of goodies that we have for the guests.
Sure that that's okay, even though I'm leaving early?
Of course. I mean, we already prepared enough for all who are going to be here, so there's one for you already. I was actually up all night last night making sure that these were perfect. So all these gifts are done by hand.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. I really can't wait to see what's inside then, but if it's something you made by hand, I'll be sure to cherish it. I am just so sorry that I'm having to head out of here so early.
Well, I'm just glad that you were able to attend at all. It really is the thought that counts anyway, you know? But just stay put. I'm going to run out of the changing room really quickly to give you the gift bag in person. I'll be right there, so don't leave yet, okay?
Hey, Emma, you're still a part of the group chat with everyone from high school, right? Well, you might want to go and check out what's going on in there. I put in the chat that you showed up without even being invited, and now all kinds of people are talking bad about you.
You mean there are people who still use that chat? I removed myself from that group the day we graduated high school.
You know, this is why people always thought that you were some kind of awkward little nerd, you know that? It's no wonder you hardly had any friends at all throughout high school. You can only blame yourself for that, though.
Well, I see that you really haven't invited anyone at all from our high school days to your wedding, so it's not just a me problem, is it?
Oh, come on. You know that all the other people we used to hang out with just ended up getting lame normal jobs. They're all just average. You really think I want my wedding being stuffed up with a stench of mediocrity? No, I'm sorry, but this wedding has a little thing called standards. So no, they weren't getting an invitation either.
So you really didn't invite anyone from back then at all, and you still are sending them messages?
You do realize just how successful and handsome and amazing my husband is, right? Did you know that he's also starting his own business, too? He's literally the perfect man, and if I invited anyone from high school, they would just spend the whole wedding crying out of jealousy. Either that, or they'd all think like you and just come here looking for men to flirt with. So that's why I didn't invite anyone from back then.
And to think that it would have been the perfect chance for you to brag to all of us about your wedding in person. Then again, I guess you really don't care as long as you're looking down on others.
You really just don't get how things work, do you? But then what else can I really expect from such a sad little loser like you? I'm not looking down on you. I just happen to know where I am relative to you. That's all.
You really are a piece of work. Do you know that, Emma?
I don't care what you have to say to me, because the fact of the matter is that I'm going to marry Xavier, and that's that. I'm going to be the successful entrepreneur, and you're getting nothing. My boyfriend can do anything and is going to be the top of his company. No one is ever going to be able to look down on him, and by extension, me. You say that, but do you even know what it is that your husband does for a living? It sounds to me like you don't even really care as long as it makes you enough money to give you the life that you want. Well, no duh. Why would I need to know anything more about what he does than how much money he makes? After all, my only job is to stand there and look pretty for him. It really doesn't matter to me one bit how he makes his money. I just have to be there and cheer him on in order to earn my keep. I guess maybe this is all a bit too much for you to wrap your head around, though. You really just don't know when to quit, do you, Emma? I just mean that if you could have found a man by now, you would have, don't you think? Instead, you have to come here desperately looking for someone to have you. It really is sad when you think about it, but the fact is that you're never going to have a family of your own. You're going to be lonely for the rest of your life.
And just what makes you say that about my boss, huh?
Wait, what? What do you mean? Who is your boss?
I mean that you're saying all these horrible things about my boss and my friend. But I guess I might have just let myself be taken in with your charms, and that's how I agreed to marry you. You must be quite good at getting close to people by making them think you're someone who you really aren't. But now I know exactly how you feel about me in this marriage.
Wait a second, I am still so confused right now. Who am I talking to? This couldn't be... It's not Xavier, is it?
Of course it is. And I heard from Francine that she was leaving our wedding early to go and take care of some business. I went out to go and give her one of the gift bags I made before she left, and that's when she told me what really happened. How could you try and do this to my boss?
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that Francine is actually your boss, and she's the friend you started your company with?
You have it backwards there. Francine started the company and invited me on board to work as VP.
Wait, what? You mean that you two knew each other even before working together? But I didn't even know that you started your company with a girl. I thought it was a guy friend.
And just why would that matter at all in the first place? I came to work with Francine because I know she has a great mind for business. I'm just shocked to hear all of these horrible things that you've been saying about her, though.
There's been some kind of mistake here, really. I had no idea that she was your boss or anything like that. I didn't even know that you two were friends before this. I mean, what in the world is someone like you doing being friends with her?
Oh, give me a break. You know that Francine and I are friends. I told you that I was going to be inviting her to our wedding. Don't you know how much she's done for me? Not just professionally, but in my personal life too?
Hold on a sec, I still don't even get how you two met in the first place.
Don't you remember in high school, when I won prom king? I think I had girls coming up to me multiple times a week begging me to go out with them. I know that people think I'm really handsome, and that must be great for me, but it's not that simple. It comes with a lot of pain too.
What do you mean? How could it be hard to be handsome?
So many people come up to you just to say they like you when you don't even know who these people are. Not just that, but to have to turn down so many people who wanted to go on a date with me. Don't you know how much that makes me feel guilty? And then, when I wouldn't find a girlfriend, people started accusing me of sleeping around with people since I was still single. It's just so many people assuming so much about my life when they don't even know me.
But, I mean, at least you're not ugly. That's a good thing. Surely you can see how being handsome is so much better, right? And if you weren't, then you wouldn't be getting married to a gorgeous woman like me.
You and every other gorgeous girl I've been with seem to have the same mindset. And anytime I brought up these struggles to them, they always tell me to be thankful for what I have. All that tells me, though, is that I still haven't met someone who actually listens to what I have to say.
Hold on, I didn't know that this was such a big deal for you.
I was scared to love for so long because I was worried that people were falling in love with the idea of me. and not me for who I really am. It took me so long to want to be married, and so much of the credit for that goes to Emma, who was always there to talk to me and never asked anything from me in return. That's what a real friend does. She helped me remember what it means to trust people.
You don't really mean that, do you?
Of course! She's always giving me great advice, and even after high school helped me step into myself. We also realized we had similar ambitions, and so when she started her company, she said it was a matter of course that I would be her VP pick.
But, I mean, I had no idea that someone like her would be your boss.
Well, you better start believing in it. Francine has easily put in the bulk of work to get us where we are. She's the brains behind the whole operations, and as the VP, she taught me how to use people's assumptions about me to my advantage.
I don't even know what to say to any of this right now.
Well, I'm not there yet. Francine told me all about what you put her through in high school, how horribly mean you were to her. I really had no idea at all that I was about to marry the person who traumatized Francine throughout high school. Well, I'm sorry, but I just can't marry a woman like you now that I know who you really are. Francine came here as my guest, and you've been nothing but disrespectful to her, and by extension, me. I want to call the whole wedding off with you.
You don't really mean that, right? I mean, the ceremony's going to start in a matter of hours. Please, let's just calm down and talk about this, okay?
There's nothing more to talk about, and I am perfectly calm. Anyways, I'm going to go break the news to everyone right now that the wedding is canceled. I don't know what you're going to do next, and frankly, I don't really care. Have a nice life, Emma.
In the end, Xavier managed to stop the wedding before things went too far and he and Emma ended up married. It was a huge shock for all of the guests, but Xavier had explained the situation to both sets of parents, and they agreed to spread the news and explain things to the rest of the guests. Soon, however, everyone at the wedding venue knew what Emma had done and said to me. By then, however, Emma had run away from the wedding venue to avoid the humiliation of what was about to happen. She managed to talk her parents into letting her move back in with them, but they both gave her a stern talking to and expressed how disappointed they were with her. And since Emma had put all of her baskets into marrying Xavier, she was really left with few alternatives. She'd quit her job and already ended her apartment lease since she was planning on moving in with her then-fiancé. Left with nothing and no one, Emma had to quickly take the first jobs that she could find in order to pay the rent to her parents, who told her they were not going to be letting her freeload off of them after her behavior at the wedding. I just hope that working a few service industry jobs really humbles Emma and helps her understand why it's wrong to look down at people. As for Xavier and I, things more or less went back to business as usual for us, as we continued on trying to build up our company. We have some interviews for the news and some magazines coming up, and I've asked Xavier if he could use his charms to help sell our company to the public. It took a long time, but I'm glad that Xavier is now comfortable enough with himself to make use of his own looks on his terms. Of course, he was very sad that his wedding didn't come to be, but he said that he was much more relieved that the two of them didn't end up married before he found out. We're still close friends, and Xavier knows that I'm there for him. But business stops for no one, and time is money. But just because the work doesn't stop, it doesn't mean I have to ignore my friend when he's hurting. Xavier may have lost his wedding, but our friendship is stronger than ever.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.